need a lot of followers to land clients. If this myth won't die already, I need this myth to die already. You do not need a lot of followers in order to attract clients on Instagram. You just need the right followers. I remember there was a viral post that was going around some years ago where there was a really big influencer who was kind of scolding her audience and being very upset because she created all of these t-shirts and virtually no one was buying these shirts. And she don't let the following fool you. You don't need a big following, you just need a buying following. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, and I'm super passionate about helping you turn your success story into a 6 or even 7-figure online coaching brand. And I know when it comes to growing your coaching brand, obviously you need to attract clients into your coaching programs, but a lot of people are frustrated because they want to use social media, particularly Instagram, in order to attract clients, but they're finding that it's very, very difficult to do. And I find that a lot of people struggle with closing clients from Instagram because they don't understand how the process of attracting clients on Instagram actually works. So in this video, we're going to be going over the 5 myths that you probably are believing when it comes to actually closing clients on Instagram. So if you want to know the super secrets, if you want to know how I get to the place where, you know, people honestly, they see these videos and they send me DMs and they're like, Courtney, I want to work with you. And there's not a lot of sales that even need to happen on my part. People are coming to me ready to join my coaching programs. If you want to know how I've gotten to this place and how you can get to this place too, you're in luck, because we're going to get into that in this video right now. All right, the first myth that you're probably believing that's keeping you from attracting clients on Instagram is this belief that you need a lot of followers to land clients. If this myth won't die already, I need this myth to die already. You do not need a lot of followers in order to attract clients on Instagram. You just need the right followers. In fact, there are people literally with 100,000 followers, 500,000 followers, like people with very, very large followings who are not making nearly the amount of money that you think they're making because they don't understand online business, they don't understand building a coaching business, and they don't understand a lot of the information that I share on this channel and that I'm sharing with you even in this video. In fact, I remember there was a viral post that was going around some years ago where there was a really big influencer who was kind of scolding her audience and being very upset because she created all of these t-shirts and she had all these followers and she thought that they were gonna buy them, and virtually no one was buying these shirts and she really wasn't making any money. So don't let the following fool you. You don't need a big following, you just need a buying following. And how you get a buying following is all boils down to the type of content that you are creating. If you're creating content that really warms your audience up and that endears them to you and that really creates a connection and that is highly valuable, you are gonna find that you won't have any trouble closing clients. So it's not the following or the amount, it's how activated and how into you is your following. And so that's a whole nother video and a whole nother discussion, but suffice it to say, it is a myth if you think you need a lot of followers in order to attract clients on Instagram. All right, the second myth that you're probably believing when it comes to closing or even attracting clients on Instagram is that you need to do a lot of cold outreach and cold DMs in order to get clients. Now, this is so like 2017. I don't reach out to anybody who hasn't really reached out to me, and so I don't recommend this either. You want to certainly create a relationship with people who are engaging with you, but just straight up cold DMs, that's not necessary, and oftentimes it doesn't even work because there is no interaction and there is no relationship with the person that you're DMing. And the strategies that I teach, you actually won't need to DM anyone because all the people should be DMing you. So if you follow the strategies that I mentioned previously in terms of making sure that your content is super client attractive, and there's many more strategies where that comes from. In fact, I talk about them in detail in my brand new coaching program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp, where I share all of the behind the scenes, insider secrets, buzz building, all the things. So if you're like, ooh, I wanna know what you do, then definitely click the link below to apply to that program. But understand that if you do things right and you truly have a client attractive magnetic brand, you won't need to DM anybody because people will be DMing you. And that's literally my life story. Like I have people in my DMs right now who either have watched the video, have listened to my podcast, have heard me speak at an event, or somehow have gotten in my world and they're like, wow, I totally want to work with you. How do I go about that? And so if you want to be in that position, you got to let go of the fear that in order to land clients on Instagram, you need to somehow cold DM a bunch of people. Nothing could be further from the truth. All right, the third myth that we really need to put to rest when it comes to finding clients on Instagram is this belief that you have to have, beautiful, glamorous lifestyle photos in order to attract clients. And I actually understand this myth because Instagram got its start really as an influencer platform. And that's how some of the original big influencers grew on Instagram, was by traveling to all of these fancy destinations, having really nice clothes and, doing these selfies. And it was very lifestyle driven and very photo driven. But if you have even watched even just one video about all the algorithm changes that are happening on Instagram and how frustrated people are, one, you should know that Instagram is not prioritizing photos anymore. They've come out and said that they are prioritizing videos. And I think it's no surprise that Instagram is prioritizing reels. So even if it was true that you back in the day had to have a lot of glamorous, like, oh, look at me, I'm in Santorini, type photos in order to attract clients, understand that that's no longer the case anymore, because Instagram isn't even showing that type of content to your audience because of the algorithm. In fact, the content that is doing the best right now is highly valuable, highly engaging content that your audience finds valuable and can actually use. And so even if you just, live a normal lifestyle, and for the record, I live a normal lifestyle. Most days I am sitting here in this office, I am in sweatpants and a t-shirt. I'm dressed up for these videos, but a lot of times I'm just very dressed down and I'm just, working on my laptop and getting things done. And then I'm, picking up my kids from school and, just living a normal life, right? So I don't always have glamorous photos to post on Instagram either. So trust me, you're in good company if you feel like that's not something that you can do on a regular basis. But the great news is that you don't have to. You just have to figure out how to give valuable content. And so feel free to post reels that really educates your audience on something that they should know, or post video clips, or you can even create quotes, text-based graphics, carousels that are almost like a whole mini training, teaching people on what they need to know when it comes to whatever it is that you coach on. So if one of the reasons that you are not really actively striving to land clients on Instagram is because you keep telling yourself, oh, I don't have fancy photos, please put that myth to rest. You do not need them in order to find clients on Instagram. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. Do you even use Instagram in your business? Share in the comments below. All right, the fourth myth that you are probably believing when it comes to finding clients on Instagram is that you have to do what everyone else is doing. And I understand the temptation for this because everybody's trying to figure out how they can beat Instagram's algorithm. And there's all this content going around like, oh, you have to do reels like this, and you have to use this type of trending audio, and you have to do your carousels like this and whatever. And so everybody just starts creating content the same way, not realizing that one of the greatest algorithm hacks there is something that I actually talk about in this video. So if you want to know what my algorithm hack is, I encourage you to check out this video where I talk all about it. But understand that if you want to take advantage of that algorithm hack, you got to be willing to stand out and do something different. So don't just copy what everybody else is doing, but be willing to take a risk, be willing to show your creativity, and be willing to experiment. Even now, there are a lot of different posts that I try, and I just want to see if it resonates with my audience. Some stuff falls flat and it doesn't really get that much of engagement, but it's okay because I just come up with a different idea. And oftentimes I'm surprised where the ideas that I didn't think were gonna do well do really, really well, and the ideas that I thought were gonna be blockbuster kind of flop. So I'm just in a season where I'm trying different things out on Instagram, and all of it is really helping me attract more clients. And really what it boils down to is consistency. So try different things, be consistent, and don't be afraid to stand out, and you'll find that it will help you attract more clients. All right, the fifth myth that is keeping you from finding clients on Instagram is you believe that you have to spend a lot of time creating content for Instagram. And again, I understand why you think that, especially if you're listening to all of these gurus who are saying you need to make 10,000 reels a day and post 5 times on your page and everything needs to look like this. It can feel really overwhelming when you're trying to actually run a business and serve your clients and market on other platforms to think, oh my goodness, how am I gonna create all of this content for Instagram? But I have a secret. 95% of the content that I post on Instagram is actually repurposed content. Yes, it's content that has gone out on other platforms, whether it's this here YouTube channel or my podcast or elsewhere, even video clips from me speaking at different speaking engagements, and we repurpose it and we make it look good for the Instagram platform, but it is actually content that got its origination somewhere else. So if you wanna learn all about my process and how I create so much content, even though I'm a busy wife and mom, you can check out this video here where I share all about how to do that. All right, I hope you loved this video. If you did, you're gonna love my Client Attraction Masterclass. This is a masterclass that walks you through the process that I currently use today in order to attract clients into my business. This is a process that I teach my clients as well, and they're able to get clients in their own businesses even if they're just starting out. So if you wanna get access to this for free, click the link below to register now. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for either my next podcast episode or my next video, make sure you are following me on Instagram, where I share more great tips like this, as well as the behind the scenes of my life. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.